Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Business Today Television. In this super hot market of primary issues, we'll be talking about Allied Blenders and Distillers Limited. This is a 1500 crore IPO which will be opening for subscription from June 25th to June 27th, and the price band is in the range of 267 to 281 rupees per share, whose face value is 2. Joining us on the discussion are Mr. Alok Gupta. He's the Managing Director of Allied Blenders, and of course Mr. Ramakrishnan Ramaswamy, the CFO of Allied Blenders. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and a very warm welcome on Business Today Television. We are amidst this frenzy for IPOs, and in the pipeline is your 1500 crore IPO, which is broken up into two parts. 500 crores is the offer for sale, and 1000 crore rupees is going back to the company. Mr. Gupta, coming first to you, what are the utilization of these proceeds going to be? What are you going to use these 1000 crore rupees for?
Thank you very much for your time. As regards the IPO, the primary object of the issue is to retire our current debt and retain the balance as growth capital for the future.
Okay. Mr. Ramaswamy, bringing you in the conversation, what is the size of the debt that you wish to repay, and how much of this 1000 crore rupees will go towards working capital?
We have a net debt of around 768 crores and we wish to repay that, and the balance would be used for working capital.
Okay, so that's about 232 crores for working capital needs and 768 for paying off debt. Mr. Gupta, coming to you, the Indian liquor market is going through a phenomenal resurgence. We've seen Indian-made foreign liquor now being priced higher than single malts which come from Scotland. Can you please give us some idea as to how Allied Blenders is at this point of time in the whiskey market? I believe you have about 11.8% share of IMFL market. If you could just elaborate on how whiskey is growing in India.
Sure. So I think the consumer story in the alcobev sector is no different than the food and beverage sector, where the consumer is wanting to consume better. And we are seeing similar trends in the alcobev sector. It's about changing socio-economic landscape. It's about urbanization. It's about access to global market trends, and consumers want to align and experience what's happening across the globe. So the alcobev industry is not an exception. I think the point that you made about Indian consumer happy to pay a price higher than global brand, I think has been the most interesting change in the industry, which is a reflection of the confidence they have, to my mind, and the authenticity of what the Indian manufacturers are currently offering. So I think it's extremely important. I think there's high quality work being done, and from our perspective, we've been in this business since 1988, and over the last 35 years, we've built an infrastructure which is pan-India across all the states, 32 manufacturing units, sales infrastructure, distribution infrastructure. We have over 4 millennia brands, right? We do north of 32 million cases. And these tailwinds that we have spoken about is exactly where we see a big opportunity for ABD to sort of take advantage of in time to come.
Okay, Mr. Ramaswamy, coming to this deployment of 1000 crores, of course, 25% towards working capital and 768 crores versus paying off debt. What are the kind of savings that you will have on your interest rate payments on an annual basis, given that you'll be wiping out the debt that you have outstanding as of now?
So there will be a significant reduction in the interest cost from where it is today, and whatever cost of borrowing which is there today, that will get improved. There will be a reduction in the cost of borrowing due to the improvement in the credit rating. So these are the two significant changes we are looking forward due to repayment of debt, because the leverage ratios of the company will improve.
Okay, what was the interest paid out in the financial year to March 2024, Mr. Ramaswamy?
Well, I can talk only till the DRHP period, that is December. So the number is around 130 crores for the first 9 months.
230 that you said?
No, 130 crores interest.
Okay, so now coming to the bottom line and the top line, because this interest payment will now come directly to the bottom line. Am I clear?
Yes, absolutely
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Now, let's begin the difficult part of the questions, Mr. Ramaswamy, to you in particular. You have a fantastic top line, 7,116 crores for March 23. But the problem is that profit after tax is a very, very meager 4.3 crores. How do you explain this very, very small net margin in a market that is expanding, in a market where aspirations are high and nearly all price points are getting accepted? Why is your profit so low?
Sir, you'll have to look at this in the context of net sales. So, gross sales is what is the number which you quoted. Net sales is around 3,200, 3,300 crores. So, if you look at the margins and ratios as a on net sales, we are at around 7.6 to 7.7% of on EBITDA margins, and we would be at par with the industry peers on the EBITDA margins in the future 1 to 2 years.
No, even on 3,800 crore rupees, your profit after tax is still 4 crores.
Sir, 3,300 crores.
Okay, on 3,300 crores, your profit is still 4 crores. Why is that so?
Sorry, if I can just chip in. I think we covered this point just a wee bit earlier. Since we have a significant debt sitting on our book post EBITDA, a larger part of the EBITDA is actually going towards paying the interest, and that's a transition post IPO that we will see. Is that with interest costs significantly coming down, the free cash flows are going to be significantly enhanced, and that will reflect in future sort of PBT. So I think there's a correlation between the leverage that we have and the interest that we pay, which reflects in the poor profitability of the company, and that's exactly what gets corrected with sort of the post IPO. So
Okay.
I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, and that's the reason why I asked the interest payout first. So 130 crores that will be saved on paying heavy interest costs. Let's presume a large part of that will go directly to the bottom line. Am I right, Mr. Gupta?
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think there are 3 or 4 things that we have to keep in mind. I think earlier on I spoke about the fact that we have infrastructure in place and there are tailwinds behind us. I think for us it's about focusing on not just volume but profitable volume. We've been working hard in terms of our new product development. It's about leveraging the new product on back of our infrastructure and thereby also improving our gross margin, deleveraging the balance sheet in terms of the debt. And therefore, a combination of higher volume, high gross margin, lower interest cost will reflect in a significantly better profitability of the company.
Fair point.
There
Now
are multiple
let's.
levers at play. The point I want to make was there are multiple levers at play and not just one.
Yes, absolutely. Now it's very clear that from now onwards, the quarterly numbers will show higher profit because your interest costs will go down. I'm just making it very simple for our viewers to understand.
Thank you so much for that.
And Mr. Gupta and Mr. Ramaswamy, it's rare these days to get a company where 2/3 of the IPO proceeds are going towards the benefit of the company. Mostly it's an offer for sale. In your case, it's just 2/3, but in your case, it's just 1/3 offer of sale. The 2/3 are actually going for the improvement of the company. Okay. Now let me ask about capacity utilization. You said you have 32 manufacturing units and upwards of 32 million cases that you sell. What is the level of capacity utilization that Allied Blenders is enjoying?
So our manufacturing capability, one is the bottling unit and second is our distillery, which is in our largest market of Telangana. So allow me to cover both. Telangana, our distillery runs at 100% capacity. We produce about 60 million liters of alcohol annually, of which we consume 40 million captive, 20 million is towards third party. As far as bottling is concerned, we run it at about 65 to 70% capacity, and that's what sort of the best in market norm is, because you have to leave room for headroom, and you also have to keep in mind seasonality because sales during the season go up. So the capacity utilization for our kind of business, 70% is a benchmark, and we run to that benchmark.
Okay, fine. Do you think in the coming quarters or so, in the coming 1 or 2 years or so, will you be expanding capacity?
I think this is something that we do on a regular basis in terms of what our 3-year plans are, and the capacity will always be in line with the 3-year plan, leaving at least 20% room for a tailwind that we need to take advantage of.
Fair point. Let me just enumerate the brands that Allied Blenders has. Amongst whiskey, you have Officer's Choice and Sterling Reserve. In gin, you serve Zoya. Rum is represented by Officer's Choice, and vodka is Class, if I'm not wrong. So,
we just need to add one more brand to the to what you have just the list that you read out. That is Iconic White, which we launched in November of 22. It went to become a millionaire brand in the first 13 months, and last year we've done north of 2 million cases. So that's the 4th millionaire brand in our portfolio.
Okay. How many 10 million cases brands do you have with you?
4. We have 4 brands that do north of a million case: Officer's Choice Blue, Iconic, and Sterling Reserve.
Okay, fine. Mr. Gupta, there is something missing from your product portfolio, which is a beer. Given this intense heat wave that is there in North India and of course across the world, do you find that a bit, how should I say, disconcerting that Allied Blenders is not present in beer, or have you given that market up for United Spirits and United Breweries?
These are 2 different segments that require very different supply chain capabilities. Yeah. And we need to stay focused on where we are strong, which is the spirit side of the alcobev sector. Yeah. But interestingly, a trivia that you might be interested in, that if you look at pure alcohol, yes, spirits industry consumes more than 90% of pure alcohol. So I think we are on the right side of the market in terms of scale and sustainability.
You know, Mr. Gupta, these days one has to be on the right side of the market and right side of the law as far as distillers are concerned. There is a lot happening in your industry which we'd rather not talk about, but interesting times ahead. Mr. Ramaswamy, can you justify to our viewers the pricing logic that went behind putting in a price tag of 267 to 281 rupees per share, which has a face value of 2? If you look at a basic parameter of price to earnings, yours is way off the market, but I understand that's because of the very heavy interest costs you bear. The logic behind the pricing of 267 to 281.
So the pricing has been fixed in consultation with the BRLMs, and it is in line with what is the peers price earning ratio is.
No. In that case, you are way off the mark. The United Spirits PE is 73, Radico at 96, Globus at 17. Yours is in 3 digits, sir. You haven't even posted a single quarter.
So we are at around in a price EV EBITDA band of around 35. So okay, we are in that band, and it's line with what the investment bankers have factored for us, and it's in line with the sentiment in the market.
Sentiment in the market I can understand, sir. Investment bankers are of no help to IPO subscribers. They will try to get you the best possible price from the market. So let's not talk about investment bankers. Yes, sentiment in the market is really hot for IPOs, and in your case, at least the company is deploying the proceeds to reduce interest costs and improve a working capital cycle. So that's well taken. Mr. Gupta, in terms of diversifying, will sometime later in the life history of Allied Blenders, would you be putting in more bottling plants? Any particular state where you find you are underrepresented, which might over the next 2 or 3 quarters see an improvement?
As far as bottling capacities are concerned, we always look at a 3-year out and make sure that we have 20% for headroom. Therefore, at any given point of time, the bottling capacity is seen through at least 2 or 3 cycles. So as we are currently sort of in terms of capacity, the waiver infrastructure, I think we are quite adequate to meet both the growth that will come naturally to us and also any tailwind that we are able to take advantage of.
Okay. Mr. Gupta and Mr. Ramaswamy, thank you so much for this very interesting chat on one of the most exciting markets in India, which is liquor. We wish you all the good luck, and we hope that the coming quarters, the ones that are financial, you will be joining us to discuss the progress of Allied Blenders and Distillers with our audience.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
Mr.
so
Bhatnagar.
much. Thank you.
Okay, that, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Alok Gupta, Managing Director, and Mr. Ramakrishnan Ramaswamy, the CFO at Allied Blenders and Distillers. The company has come out with a 1,500 crore rupee IPO, which has a 500 crore rupee offer for sale. The stock will be priced between 267 to 281 rupees per share, and the issue will be open from June 25th to 27 rupees, June 25th to June 27, and of course the proceeds of the IPO, 1,000 crore rupees, would be used to cut down on interest, outstanding debt, and of course improving the working capital cycle. Thank you so much for watching us on Business Today Television. Remain glued for the best news that is there for markets and financials on YouTube. Thank you so much.